All right. Hello everyone. This is Charrisse Smith from the Road to Good Credit, and I just wanted to share a testimony of a client of mine that I have worked with in the past in regards to her finances, and she has agreed to come and just share some of the things that she has learned or what has helped her in the past in regards to her journey. She's had many journeys, and I'll just let her share by asking a couple of questions, and we'll take it from there. Okay, Ade, we're okay with that?
Yep, that
So,
works.
okay, her name is Ede Fox, and Ede Fox, and
hmm
we've known each other for quite a while. I think maybe like what, maybe 4 years? 4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I've seen her grow. I'm sure she's seen me grow as well. And I'm so proud of her. I'll let her tell her side of that. But I'll just start out with some questions. Okay. So a day we first met, of course, you had came in to my office to assist it with your finances. And I just want to ask, like, what brought you to that point in for you to just, to say, okay, I need help at this point.
Well, I always knew it was important to take care of one's financial health, but it's the kind of thing that you put off, you avoid, and but it had gotten to the point where, I had just come off of a couple of years of unemployment, of being unemployed, and also, just trying to juggle bills and so on. So I had a lot of debt. And I knew that I needed some help, and I think I saw an ad or heard something, and realized that I really should reach out for assistance, and so that's what first brought me in. And I think I took a class to learn about how to improve your credit, and learned about some of the other services, and that's when I started coming in to meet with Charisse and really start aggressively working on my financial health.
Very good. So the class that she took was a credit class that I teach, and I also the workshops is like a series that I teach. And also after the series, I offer counseling and coaching and things of that nature. So when she came to me, that's what she took in the beginning. So going forward, I have here like talk about like what was it that was your problem? Like what were the problems that you were experiencing at the moment that brought you in?
Well, as I said, I had been unemployed for a while, and so I just had a lot of bills that ended up stacking up, and I wasn't keeping up. But in addition to that, I had over the years had a couple of credit cards, and the monthly payments had become too much for me to handle. So adding in the unemployment, paying all of these credit cards, some of which had, fairly high interest rates, I wasn't able to keep up. And so, at that point when I came in, I had a lot of bill collectors calling, and I knew I needed to do something and sort of just get a handle on, how to, well, I mean, I always had a budget, but, really sort of thinking more clearly about what my short and long-term financial goals were, and, and map out a plan to get there.
Very good. Okay, so in lieu to that, what exactly did you take away? Not take away, but like, and I remember when you would return to the office, I remember us setting dates, and I just want you to speak a little bit about like how long did it take, because some people sometimes they think it's like really quick, and it was over a certain amount of time, right? So, but
Yeah, definitely. It was not quick. And, and it was a significant amount of debt. I mean, I think by the end of it, I had ultimately paid down about $25,000 or handled, $25,000 in outstanding credit card debt. Plus, I had other expenses as well, about $11,000 outside of credit card debt that I also took care of. So, handling all of that, I guess that was $36,000. I did that over the course of about a year and a quarter. So it was not quick. And in terms of the credit card debt, we just sort of we set I came up with a goal of how much money I should save and come in with a little pot of money, and then call the credit card companies and try to negotiate down on that debt. So I would after we figured out my budget and how much money needed to be spent and what I could really scrimp and save on. I figured out how much money I could put aside each month, and then made a plan to set up an appointment for when I knew that I would have saved up $1,500, $2,000, and then go back and have that pot of money there to start negotiating with the credit card company. And if we could get them as close to or below whatever amount I had set aside, I might have a little bit left over for to roll over into the next pot and dealing with the next credit card.
Very good. And that's why it's very important to have someone or know how to negotiate these debts, or down where you're able to make a payment or make a full payment. And like she said, she also had money left over, which I think is great. But the thing that I have to say about Ede, that she was very persistent. She was consistent, okay? And she knew what she wanted, and she stayed on top of it. So even though if I may not have seen her for like maybe a month or two, I knew she was still working on what she needed to work on. And she would call me when she would be ready to go to the next bill, right? So,
yeah, I mean, it definitely, sometimes it didn't go as quickly as I wanted, or some expense would come up. So, I might have planned to be ready for the next appointment, for 6 weeks, but it might end up being 8 weeks, sometimes 10 weeks. So, it didn't go as quickly and smoothly as I had hoped, but I really did want to get this just ultimately done and off my plate. And once, we started with the smallest bill, so it wasn't it wasn't a huge hurdle for that first conversation, but it was really great to, to have all of that done and completed. Do you hear all that banging? Should I just go tell somebody to be quiet?
no, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Okay.
I didn't even hear anything. Maybe we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
So it was really great to finish with with all of the debt, and so that really motivated me to get it together, and I'd get so excited, even along the way I would kind of look through my books and sort of see like the monthly payments coming off, and that was a motivation enough to to say, okay, now it's instead of 5, now it's 3, and then 2, and only one more card to pay off, and then I'll be done.
Wow, that's great. And that's
But I really did tighten the belt for for quite some time. So for a year and a quarter, I didn't go out that much. I didn't really go to movies. I didn't really buy much. And, when it came time to buy something that wasn't essential, it was kind of like, well, do I want to put off an additional 2 weeks before I go, see Charrisse, or do I want to, buy whatever it is? And so, sometimes I did buy it, but for the most part, I was really, I was on a money diet, and, was hungry, but, committed and motivated.
very good. And the last question would be, what did you get out of this journey, and what was the result of what you received out of this, and how did it help you in regards to your life and your personal life?
I think it was the beginning of a much bigger transformation. I first really dealt with my financial health, and then I was kind of ready at that point to deal with my physical health. And after, sometime after that, I ended up joining Weight Watchers and ended up losing 80 pounds. So, I think, yeah, thanks. I think the commitment I displayed doing this financial diet really convinced me that I could do the food diet, and that there was a really big and great reward at the end of it that could be achieved in no other way except to, sit down and do the hard work and, make some sacrifices. So I kind of think of that financial journey as the beginning of my overall transformation, and it was really powerful and helpful. And I think it really has put me in good stead in going forward. I don't think I'll ever be quite as disarrayed in terms of my finances again, because I really have learned, one, how to take care of these things, and two, the value. I think many of us, especially those of us who live check to check, are not really thinking about the long term and how we identify what our long-term financial goals are and then map out a step-by-step strategy to get there. And that's the value of a professional. I think that I'm smart and know what I want, but I don't know everything, and I think when it's really important to know when you don't know something, and to make the commitment to go find someone who knows it, who can help you and walk you through all of the steps. And so now I am not in the same position as I was 4 years ago, but I'm sort of thinking about what are my next financial goals and how do I take them on to the next higher level, and how do I get there, and what are the steps, and who do I need to talk to about doing those things. So one, of course, I want to come back to you to talk about how to continue, but I also have to sort of look deeply in my own heart and think about what is it I want in 5 years, in 10 years, financially.
Very good. Thank you so
Mm-hmm.
much today. I so appreciate you doing this for me. I just want to say that Ade has also taken things to a higher level. I'm not going to get into it. I'll let her, if she would like to say, she doesn't have to, but I really am proud of her and her journey. I knew her before she lost the weight. I've known her before she was able to clean up the credit and the finances, and to just see where she is right now. I'm so proud of you, and congratulations to you. And of course, as she said, the journey still continues as she goes to reach higher heights in her endeavors. So I thank you so much for coming on. Would you like to say
Well,
anything?
well, now that you've said all that, shouldn't I just say?
I think
So I ran for city council in 2013, and at that time, I wasn't working, and it was very tight. Money was tight, and it was very difficult. And so I spent the last 4 years really working on my own personal transformation on so many different levels. And so it really put me in a very strong position to run again this time in 2017. Unfortunately, I didn't win, but did a really great showing. But I think the experiences and the sacrifice and the effort I put into cleaning up my financial health as well as my physical health gave me a strength that I did not have before in 2013 to go through on a really difficult, really challenging, and very competitive campaign. So I'm very happy that I took those steps, and I think that no matter what it is you do, taking time to care for your financial health is so important. I mean, I think about it as like if I had a chronic disease like diabetes, if I'm not taking my medication and I'm not taking care of my health, I'm not going to be able, I'm going to have difficulty throughout the day on everything that I do. And so when you don't really address your financial concerns, even that worry that, is constantly gnawing in the back of your head keeps you from living your best life and maximizing your potential. So I do really think it's important, as much as Lord knows, I resisted and didn't want to deal with it and kind of pushed it to the side for a long time. But taking care of it has just taken a huge weight off, and knowing that, there's lots of ways to handle these kinds of financial concerns. It's not just about earning more or paying the full amount. I mean, it's really about having an advocate who knows the system and who can find the best the best outcome for your particular situation. And so going in and having it set in my mind that I need to save $25,000 to handle these debts was that was incredibly overwhelming. But knowing that there's another way and that there's a professional who knows how to navigate this is really important. And I think, and especially as a Black person, I think that sometimes we don't always seek out the professional advice that would make our, whatever the challenge is, go much more smoothly. And having that professional who can really guide you is, it's invaluable. And so I really do encourage people to think about what what your long-term goals are, and really be ready to fight for them and make sure that you're doing everything that you can.
Very good. That was very well said. Yay. Okay. So again, this is Ede Fox. Watch out for her. She's coming. She's coming back. And I know she has, there's more in her. She has more fight in her. So I'm waiting to see you. I'm waiting to support you.
All right.
And that's basically it. I just thank you for coming on and just telling your story. And I'm sure there are people out there, hey, look, if you're watching, just as she has done it, I have done it in the past myself. If you go back and watch my previous videos, you can see that I've gone through the same thing. And she's also an inspiration to me to now start losing the weight in my own life. Okay, so, right. And I've started a journey in regards to doing that as well. So if you have any questions or if you need to contact me, I will have the information posted at the bottom of the video. And please don't be afraid. Start even before the new year. Don't make it just a New Year resolution. Start now so you can begin to plan other things in 2018. 2017 is not over. We still have 2 more months to go. So get started, okay? Thank you again, Ede. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Okay, sweetheart. Bye.
All right. Bye.